Hi, my name is Wayne Odegaard with Aviation Laboratories, and let's talk chemistry. Today, we'd like to talk about how you test for fuel system icing inhibitor in fuel. One of the previous talks that we did, we actually described what diethylene glycol monomethyl ether is. It's a fuel additive used in very small quantities in fuel to bind water so that it doesn't freeze up in the fuel line in altitude. But how do you know if you have enough of this fuel additive in your fuel or perhaps too much in your fuel? That's what we want to talk about today. And the first thing I want to show you is what the kit actually looks like. We sell a kit, it looks like this. And all of the parts and the bits and pieces you need to test your fuel additive concentration is contained in that kit. There are beakers, there are eyedroppers, there's a separatory funnel, a stand for the separatory funnel, a lot of different things in there. I'm not going to go through all that, but I want to do is show you the basics of how you test for FSII in fuel. So the first thing you're going to want to do, obviously, is go get a sample of the fuel, right? You need fuel to test. So you get a sample of the fuel, you pour it into a separatory funnel. It looks like this. You add a little bit of water to it, just a couple of drops full of water, and you shake it up. The key really to measuring FSII is to make sure that it has water to bind itself to it, because what we're going to do is we're going to measure the FSII in the water phase that's come out of the fuel. So we're going to shake this. We say shake it for about 5 minutes. It's a long process, but it's not very heavy. So you just shake it while you're talking, like I'm doing now. When you're done with that, you put it in your test stand and you just let it sit. And as it sits, you'll see it slowly separate. So because fuel system icing inhibitor is heavier than fuel, the specific gravity is higher than fuel, you'll see that it settles down here with the water phase. So there should only be just a little bit, about the same amount of water that you put in here should separate down here at the bottom. And you'll see a little line between the water and the fuel. Once you've got that, you want to very carefully take a couple of drops of that water phase and drop it into this refractometer. The refractometer is actually used to measure the refractive index of the water that you've taken out from the fuel. The refractive index changes based upon the amount of fuel additive in the water. So what we'll do, this is in the stand, you'll actually turn this stopcock quickly when it's held over this. Just a couple of drops is all you need. Once you've done that, you close this and you measure the refractive index. And the refractive index will tell the instrument it's calibrated for FSII, so it will tell you how much FSII is actually in the fuel that you're looking at. The proper dosage rate should be 1% to 0.15% by volume. If you've got less than that, it may not capture all the water in the fuel. If you have more than that, it can become a problem with the fuel burn and microbiological activity, those kinds of things. So you want to be careful that the dosage is correct. Now, if you bought fuel from an FBO and the fuel is pre-mixed with additive, then it's already taken care of and it should be exactly right, no problem at all. If you put the fuel additive in yourself, you may buy a can like this. This can treats about 100 gallons of fuel, but you may want to check it just to make sure that you have the right dosage. This kit would be the way that you would do that. And again, the dosage on there is 0.1 to 0.15% by volume. If you have any other questions, please feel free to give us a call. Thank you for watching.